İşin esprisi o. Dedim kolay olarak ben gelirim diyor. Benlik sıkıntı yok. Bir lezzetli olmuş lan.
Ben de. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today on Latakin's Nor Kitchen we're gonna make chicken fettuccine alfredo. That's right, I'm very excited to show you my take on this very delicious pasta dish, which should not be confused with a certain casserole that goes by the same name. And after all those rich, time-consuming and complex recipes, we're in the mood of something fast, easy and light. So why this is fast and easy? It's not particularly light, but it's incredibly delicious. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with prepping our mushrooms. I don't love to wash them at the sink with a lot of water. Rather, I prefer to clean them with dry clothes because I love beautifully brown mushrooms for my dish, and the less moisture in the mushroom, the quicker and more beautifully brown they will be. After that, I'm gonna trim a little bit of the bottom of the stem off, even though there is no reason to do that, and I'm gonna slice them up thickly. You know the drill, pick a thickness and go with it, but you really wanna try to get them about the same so they cook evenly and all kind of look the same when they are done. So once they are sliced up, we're gonna throw those in a big skillet with some olive oil and butter on medium heat, and I'm gonna give it a big pinch of salt. And here's what's gonna happen. First, they're gonna get wet, then they're gonna get dry, then they're gonna get wet again, and then they're gonna end up damp, okay? And that's not nearly as confusing as it sounds, because when you saute this many mushrooms in a pan, a lot of water comes out and it takes a while for that to evaporate. But if you keep sauteing and keep stirring, and again, we're like medium heat, eventually the water evaporates. And as you know, butter and oil don't evaporate, so once the liquid is gone, the mushrooms will start sauteing. And 5 or 6 minutes later, I had some beautifully browned mushrooms. At that point, we're gonna get our chicken started. We want a pound of chicken, but you can double the chicken. It's gonna be super easy. There's a lot of sauce and pasta to go around, so if you want more, just add more chicken breasts, and it will be totally fine. You'll just cook it in 2 batches or many batches. We have the chicken, and they are too thick, but I'm gonna slice them down the middle so they pan fry really easily. This thickness really has to be finished in the oven, in my opinion. So you would get them nice and then pop it in the oven and then take it out, but that's a lot of work, so let's just slice it down the middle and we'll have more flavor on the meat as well. There we go. Now definitely give your hands a wash now, and then we're gonna season this with some salt and pepper, just about 3/4 of a teaspoon. Toss in the pepper. Now let's head over to the stove, and on a medium heat skillet, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of butter because it's so delicious, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil in order not to singe the butter. Now warm your butter and oil over medium-high heat or medium heat, get that nice and hot. Where the butter should be melted, it will be sizzling away. You can cook the chicken in 2 or 3 batches. The chicken should be nice and golden on either side and cooked all the way through. Here you go, put 2 at a time. Now depending on your stove and skillet and what medium heat means to it, you'll be cooking for around 7 minutes, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. It totally depends. Then once it's nice and golden, just flip it over and repeat. And as long as my chicken's golden, we're gonna go ahead and remove it. I love all of that caramelized bits over there. And let's take the next fillet and repeat. The chickens now are done and they are smelling amazing. At that point, we can go ahead and prep the sauce. So what we need for that is 1 big onion, 1 piece of onion, which I will peel and mince. You can use 2 pieces if you're a lover of onions, but I think 1 is okay. Then let's add that to a skillet which has a little bit of olive oil. Then stir that in for 2 to 3 minutes until they soften up and turn translucent. And then once they are soft and nice, we can go ahead to add our cream, which are about 1 packet of whipped cream mixed in 1.5 cup of milk. So it's nearly about 2 cups. If you don't have heavy cream, you can go ahead and use only the milk. So you can use 500 milli, which is nearly about 2 cups and a half. And then 1 tablespoon of salt, as well as black pepper, along with oregano, about 1/2 teaspoon. But anyway, once our cream is on the skillet, we're gonna bring that up to a simmer and we're gonna reduce that stirring occasionally about half until it slightly thickens. So keep simmering it on medium until its viscosity resembles this. Alright, as you can see, it's not super thick. It's just reduced and thickened up slightly, and at that point I go ahead to add 2 or 3 tablespoons of cream cheese to enrich the flavor as usual. And if you used milk instead of the cream, you can go ahead and add 3 to 4 tablespoons of cream cheese to make the texture more creamy and more silky. Last but definitely not least, we're gonna toss in 3 tablespoons of kashkaval cheese, and then once all that in there, I'm gonna go ahead to cut our chicken into slices so we can add that too to the sauce. We're gonna toss in our mushrooms as well, stir all of that in the sauce, and once we dumped everything in there, we're gonna turn down the heat to low as it goes, and we're gonna prepare our pasta. So to a big pot, and don't forget the salt, nobody wants unflavored pasta. So add in at least a couple teaspoons. I like to go heavy on mine, so let that comes to a boil, and once that's happened, we're gonna toss in our pasta, about 1 pound of fettuccine pasta. Give your pasta a swirl so it doesn't stick together, and after that, and once our pasta is boiled, we're gonna add it to our sauce. Put it right into the sauce, give that a stir, and let it sit for 1 or 2 minutes. The pasta is gonna soak up that beautiful cheesy creamy chickeny mixture. It's gonna swell up a little more, and it's gonna finish cooking alright, and we're gonna blade that up with some chicken slices on top, a little bit of that sauce if you want. See, my sauce was almost perfect, so I think reducing that cream to the half, and by reduce I mean to boil it down, not just use half of it, which is gonna intensify the flavor also. And that's it. Little more cheese on top if you want, a little more parsley, and you have a delicious chicken fettuccine alfredo, and it's alright. So let me grab a fork and a spoon and dig in. It's extremely flavorful and very satisfying. So that's one reason I love that dish, and the other reason is that incredibly moist, succulent, tender chicken, because we added that to the sauce, so you don't have to worry about any tough dry meat. And yes, you'll be happy to know I eventually figure out which side of the spoon to use. Turns out the concave side is the one to twirl the pasta in. See, I'm one of those people that never reads the owner's manual, and by the way, that parsley we added at the end was optional, but for me it really ties this simple pasta together. So I really did love how this came out, and it really is a beautiful alternative to your more standard meat sauces. So whether you do this for a fancy Sunday supper or just maybe some cold rainy weeknights, I really do hope you give this easy and delicious chicken fettuccine alfredo a try soon. So head over to the description box for all the ingredients amounts for more info as usual. Thanks for watching. It's a restaurant quality recipe where you can easily make at home. And if you liked my video, please make sure to subscribe, like, follow and share so you can help me get more people to reach Latakian's Kitchen. See you later.